Alright everyone, in this video I want to talk about shiny object syndrome and some strategies that I've been trying to implement to help manage my bad habit of falling victim to shiny object syndrome, because as a creative person I do need an outlet, a little creative, silly, fun outlet. I'm not like an engineer where I'm extremely technical and dial into like one thing at a time. I do like having multiple projects to work on, but that's been a problem lately because I need to focus more as a way to grow my income. And I was really inspired by this from a video I saw by Sam Ovens, where he had like a nice little diagram that he drew where he had two circles. One circle had a bunch of arrows pointing out of it, and then he had another circle with one arrow pointing out of it, but it's like really long. And he's using that as a metaphor for focus. Whereas like if you're focusing on many things, you only can get so far. Whereas if you have all your time and attention focused on one thing, you're going to have bigger results, which is, and it's something that we all know and understand, which is weird. And yet we persist at wasting time on multiple projects. And I've also seen other people talk about focus as well, like Matt Giovanzi, who I follow on Twitter, and he runs Swim University, which makes $700,000. He also runs Money Lab, and he runs Brew Cabin, and he was gonna go all in on Money Lab, and then he was like, actually, that's a mistake. I should focus and go all in on the thing that's actually working for me. So that's why he's kind of not abandoning, but he's not focusing anymore on his other brands and focusing on the one thing that's really working for him. And it made me self-reflect on like, I manage 3 brands too, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of making the same kind of mistake where I'm doing multiple things, where it's like I should really make the main thing the main thing. And so what I've been trying to do is implement different strategies to help manage my time and effort, focus, and attention. So when I wake up each day, I know what I'm going to be doing for the next week, 2 weeks, and so forth, so I don't make the same mistake of just, again, willy-nilly focusing on a bunch of random tasks. Like, you really need to have like laser focus. So the first big thing that I found helpful was to kind of create like a flow chart, like a visualization flow chart of like, where's my money coming from? Like, what different things am I doing and where's my money coming from? And by doing that, it became painfully obvious that like my main thing is like my main thing, and it really should be my main thing. Whereas like Edge of David, this should be a fun little side thing, okay? Shouldn't be focusing on this that much. Same with my niche website on teaching, which makes money. That site at its peak was making $8,000 in a single month. But again, like online teaching died. So anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent, but like I shouldn't be really focusing on that either, just a little bit. And so by creating a flow chart, really help visualize everything to know where your attention should be going. Let's take a walk up here. And after that, then what I found really helpful was to budget my time and treat it as the resource that it is. Just like we have money in the bank account, you have a finite amount of time. So how are you going to spend that time? And what I personally found really helpful is to, so simple, but like, open up a calendar app and go from there, literally. So, and I don't know why this works for me, but I found this incredibly helpful, where I use a calendar app and then I budget once every 10 days. I'll check in on my teaching site. I'll log in, I'll publish a new piece of content, I'll check the analytics, I'll check the earnings, go through it, and then forget about it. And then another 10 days, I'll come back to it. And I found that process to be incredibly helpful, because then I know it's like, all right, I'm not checking the teaching site. Don't even log in. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. It's on the back burner. And the thing I've been struggling most with, though, is actually like this channel and the edgeofdavid.com website, because I originally like relaunched it under ghost.org, and I was thinking that I was gonna like do like a newsletter type thing like that, like Justin Welch is doing, where I'll use Twitter and this channel, and I'll drive traffic to Edge of David and have subscriptions, paying subscriptions, and a free email list. And I really stopped to think, it's like, well, I already have an email newsletter for my main thing. And it's like, that's really where my focus should be. And do I really want to manage and write 2 different newsletters? And the answer is like, I could do that, but that's a lot of work. And do I have the time? More importantly, do I have the time to do that? And the answer to that is more of a like, no, not really. Like, your time should really be focused on making the main thing that's generating you an income so you can live abroad and do whatever you want and have a great life. Whereas like Edge of David's not really pulling its weight. It's just a fun creative outlet. And then that occurred to me, it's like, okay, edgeofdavid.com should probably be like my personal branded Patreon page. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe and pay and whatever, have access to private content and make content there private and make videos on the Edge of David YouTube channel. Some of them I'll make private and publish on that site and so forth, and just keep it as like a creative outlet in that regard. And that's, I think, a nice structure of everything, because I like the idea. I love Ghost.org. I think it's one of the coolest blogging platforms around. I'm surprised it's not more popular, because I do like the idea of building like a branded newsletter. But this goes back to shiny object syndrome. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have like my main personal brand, big YouTube channel, my existing email list, paid products, courses on Skillshare and Udemy, doing website reviews on Fiverr, and that's a whole ecosystem that works and people respond to and like and makes me money and so forth, etc. So it's like, that works. And so do I really have the time, energy, and effort to focus on edgeofdavid.com, make this into like a branded newsletter and videos? And like, no, you're getting distracted again. So make the main thing the main thing. And so that's it, guys, for this video. Just kind of want to share what I'm thinking and kind of dealing with in terms of like time management, managing multiple brands, and the difficulties that I'm kind of experiencing, and also just like what's working. I know it's silly, but like a calendar app and budgeting time as a resource to different projects, I found actually quite helpful with the teaching site. And I gotta figure out what I'm doing with Edge of David and so forth, because I do like having this personal brand just for fun, because like, I'm vlogging right now on my iPhone, and when I go somewhere and travel, make videos with the iPhone or my action camera, it's quite enjoyable. Like I need that creative outlet, and that's really, I think, all this site should be. And maybe turn edgeofdavid.com into just my private Patreon, branded Patreon page. Instead of using Patreon, I'll use that website and promote it from my main channel and my main website, and keep it that simple. So, but moral of the story is that you do need to focus. Unfortunately, this has been a painful lesson that I'm still trying to learn. Focus on one thing. Make your main thing the main thing. Do more of what works. Because when you look at other people who are wildly successful, that's what they're doing. Even someone like Max McFarlane, for example. He's a travel YouTuber. He was in Vietnam at the same time I was there. And his channel blew up, and now he has 3 YouTube channels, but he does the same thing on each channel. And I'm not criticizing him, I'm just saying he does more of what works. So it's like vlogging with his GoPro 10 or GoPro 11, whatever he uses, making fun travel, food videos, that works. Goes to India, makes the same style of content, goes to the Philippines, makes the same style of content, publishes those videos on his Facebook page. It's all an ecosystem where it's kind of the same thing. It's not like I have a big food vlogger channel and then here's my personal finance website. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And here's my newsletter on whatever. Just focus on one thing, make the main thing the main thing. All right, guys, so I don't want to continue rambling on too much, so I'll just leave it there. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to get some work done. So, see you next video.